Enemy MOAB incoming.
Hey guys and girls, how you all doing? It's Kirsty, or FFTK, as usual, with another gameplay commentary. And how weird is that? My intro actually sounds pre-recorded. A couple of people have told me recently, and I know I sort of take that as a bit of a compliment, because that was my intention, to come up with something that's sort of stuck, that, I don't know, people seem to relate to me, and when you hear it, you pretty much know straight away, well, that's a double FTK video, and here I am, I can't even say my own name. Well, you do know I am far used to calling myself Kirsty, as opposed to anything else. You know, real world and all, I don't know, it just does seem to take particular precedence in my life. And honestly, it should be like that for all of you guys too. But, let's actually get on to this. Some of you guys might actually notice that this is a bit of a familiar gameplay. This was actually the very first gameplay commentary that I ever posted on YouTube, although I have actually redone the commentary. And the reason for this is because it's actually been 6 months, almost to the day, when I posted my very first commentary on YouTube. And I don't know, I thought that was a sort of bit of a milestone. And I also thought it would be really good because a lot of you guys weren't around back then, and I do understand why. I was pretty atrocious, so I will leave a link to that somewhere on this video. I don't know, just to give some of you guys who are starting on YouTube just a little bit of hope of what can actually be achieved in a short amount of time. Because like I said, I started a completely new channel. It was at the very start of February, so it's been 6 months or so since I started out on YouTube, and so I had no subs, no views, no content, and no fucking clue what I was doing. And I thought that it would be good for you guys who are interested to just sort of look at the difference between those videos and primarily commentary style. But you will notice that there has been, I've sort of grown as a COD player in general really in that amount of time. So it is pretty possible that when you sort of work at something often enough, you do definitely improve, no matter what it is. I'm definitely not the best commentator, and I don't think I'm ever going to be. But there is definitely a big sort of amount of growth that can happen in that amount of time, especially if you're willing to work at it and actually look at what you're doing and look at what you can improve on. And I thought for some of you guys that are just more so starting on YouTube, or you sort of have small channels, just sort of looking to grow, I do get a lot of comments from guys in similar situations to you guys, and you're often asking me stuff like, how is it that you sort of improve, how is it that you come up with your commentary ideas, things like that. And I don't know guys, I'll give you a few basic tips that have really helped me in this amount of time. And the first one is, don't be afraid to start again. If you're not happy with things that you've said in that commentary, or you think parts of it are boring, then other people are gonna feel that same way. If you're not enjoying your own commentary, well fuck, other people are gonna enjoy it even less. So don't be afraid to start again, and also when you're first starting, don't be afraid to do multiple takes. I will admit, when I very first started, it took me around 20 takes to actually complete a video. I'd actually spend so much more time in editing, trying to actually piece together those random sort of gaps of silence you get when you do that than what I actually spent doing almost anything else. And that does come in time. It is really difficult to actually sit there talking to yourself, and I know that the only people that do actually understand that are other people who also commentate on YouTube. I know there are a lot of harsh little critics sitting there on their computer chair bitching about this and that. I don't know, that's looking at you, whoever's sitting at home being one of those sort of people who's never posted a video, you feel like nitpicking on everyone else's. Well, I'll just let you guys know now that it is a little bit harder than what you'd actually expect. I really underestimated it, I must admit. I'd sort of watched these videos for years and thought, fuck, how hard can it really be to talk? And of course, talking's not difficult. But trying to actually hold a conversation with yourself, a little bit difficult. Well, not really difficult, just requires a bit of practice. And that's probably my biggest tip for all of you guys that are looking to improve your commentary and just your videos in general, is just practice. Like everything in life, practice makes perfect. I know I sound like some old grandma saying the same old sort of crap, but it is true. Seriously, I've been playing these games for a long time. And if you watch this little spiel here, there's no way that I would have been able to do this in sort of COD 4 when it was around, just because the thought wouldn't have occurred to me to use cover like that, to sort of lay on the ground when I needed to. And just like your game, your commentary will improve too. So it is one of those things where you have to just persevere. And especially when you start, you will get a lot of hate from people. Although honestly, the bigger your channel grows, the more the hate will grow too. So sort of take from that what you will. But you will definitely get your fair share of hate. Especially when you're not really that much of an experienced commentator. I remember when I first started, people assumed that I was reading just because I didn't say and a lot, and that's just not me. I work in a sort of position where I need to speak publicly quite often, and I also need to speak as if I actually know what I'm on about. Sometimes I have no clue, but I'm pretty damn good at faking it. And that is going to bring me, guys, to probably the biggest commentary tip that I can ever give you guys, is when you're talking, try and keep just a little bit ahead in your actual mind of what you're going to say. And sometimes you'll have moments where you're not quite sure what's going to fit. So you'll learn to slow down what you're saying, or put in certain words. As people know, one of my words is, you know. It's quite a dodgy, bogan sort of sounding thing for me to say, but hey, it works. It's real, that's just me. But that's what you want to try and do. You want to stay a little bit ahead of yourself in your head, because I know it is really difficult actually talking to yourself for sometimes up to 10 minutes or so. And one of the other things that I find really, really useful is I actually have a book. Not to actually read things from, but to actually write topics into. I'm one of those weird people that I'll just be sitting there eating my dinner, or I'll be watching a TV show, or fuck knows what I'm doing, and then I'll just have some random epiphany about some great topic, some series idea, just some random shit about YouTube. And I don't know, guys, if you guys are anything like me, I've got a pretty damn bad memory. And I have learnt over these last 6 months that I'm far better to actually write something down than to not write something down. Because there's probably a 9 out of 10 chance I'm not going to remember it otherwise. No matter how many times I tell myself I'm going to remember it. But I don't know, guys, this might just be a me thing. I don't have the greatest short-term memory in general, but it has definitely been helpful just to have this little book that I can actually flip to when I'm really stuck for commentary topics. Because like my friend today, Connor, was actually saying, he's a good friend of mine on Twitter. I've actually known this guy for quite a long time. And I'm going to leave a link to his channel just in this video somewhere, just because he's a really cool dude. And I'd really appreciate it if you could check him out. And I know that he'd really appreciate it too, just because it is really hard to get started on YouTube, especially if you choose a bad time, which was pretty much me. I actually started doing gameplay commentaries about 2-3 months after Modern Warfare 3 was released. So yes, I was pretty damn late on the bandwagon. So I really had to sort of work hard to get my channel established at all. And it has been a good thing because it has given me quite a bit of experience. I don't know, there's not that many people that can really say that they've made 100 commentaries. Well, it's actually more than that in 6 months. So I don't know, guys, go and check out my first video if you hadn't actually seen it before. Just to sort of let you guys know just how much you can actually improve as a sort of commentator and as a gamer on YouTube, just in a few short months, if you actually try and work hard and you're sort of pretty persistent with, you keep trying to post videos, because you will notice I do post quite frequently. And honestly, guys, I'm not too sure what's going to happen in the future with that, because I have been letting you guys know that I am really interested in trying a few new things. I really want to try and record some new games and such for you guys. And I've actually now got a converter so that I can do that. So that should hopefully bring you guys just a little bit more variety in the future. And I don't know, guys, you sort of leave me your thoughts in the comments for how you feel about me posting other games. I will post other CODs for sure. And yeah, how you feel about maybe me posting just a little bit less per week. Anyway, guys, I'll talk to you soon.
Transform garbage into art.